Middle grade debut novel, 5-star. Let's go. We're talking about Time Villains by Victor Pineiro. Now, this is his first book, and I thought it was great. It didn't feel like a debut novel. I thought the writing was really good in it. The plotting, the quality of the writing was really good. It brought you through. Things made sense. It was funny, which I really appreciated. So I'm going to read you just part of the first page. No, Dad loves taking Brady and me to super boring places on the weekends because he thinks torture is healthy for kids. Mostly it's museums and the symphony and other stuff designed to make us die of boredom. But when he's really feeling diabolical, he takes us to antique stores so we can look at combs and toilets from 100 years ago. I was like, that's first page, first chapter. I was like, this is going to be hilarious. And it was. There are many, 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 many times where we get hilarious stuff all throughout. It is really funny. It is lighthearted. I mean, a serious event is happening in here, but it's mostly, it's very humorous. So it is written in first person, and we're following the character Javi. That's him right there. And he has a little sister named Brady, who is the tough one. And then we have his friend, which they call him Wiki, because he just knows a little bit, actually a lot about everything. So it's short for Wikipedia. That's what they call him. And they find a magical table that only the kids can hear at an antique store. They're replacing their dining room table. And they have this school project come up that they have to do every year at their cool school, which is apparently is this really neat castle built by some random person in like middle America, you know. And it is pick 3 people, fictional, non-fictional, of history, live today, whatever. Pick 3 people that you would want to have dinner with and why. And it's a thing that they do every year, and they even have to make the meal that they would serve them, and they have to decorate a table and take a picture for their assignment. Well, they don't know they have a magical table. So, Brady suspects it because they end up finding a key in the bottom of it. But Javi sets up this thing, and he thinks Wiki is being real funny. He thinks he's just being like ha 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 ha, really funny, because he gives him Blackbeard's real name. Okay, invite Edward Teach, and he's just giggling away, and Javi doesn't even look him up. He's like, Edward Teach? That sounds good. It has the word teacher in it. It'll be like sucking up, right? The table summons them all, for real. So he summons the Earl of Sandwich, because Javi is obsessed with sandwiches, and he's a little chef. He's a kid chef, and it makes me want food throughout the whole book, because he makes things. And he does Kid Mozart, which is really funny, and then Edward Teach, aka a Blackbeard. And Wiki, poor Wiki, he feels bad the whole time because he thought it was funny. He just thought it was a joke, and then he realized because he was trying to make a joke, he's put everybody in danger. So once they come here, they have dinner together. The other 2 go back. He kind of sabotages, and he stays here. And so then they have the problem of trying to figure out how to get Blackbeard back into the table. And Blackbeard the whole time is trying to get, there's a particular key to the table. He's trying to get that from them so he can summon his crew, because he wants to bring his crew here because he reads about himself like it's a book in the dining room. So it's like they have a huge bookshelf. What are those things called? Encyclopedias? You know, way back when way back when we had the row of encyclopedias and that is how you did your home research, not the internet. I had a set. That's really aging me. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but I guess it was. Back in the 90s and early 2000s. Well, anyways, he sees how he dies and he's like, oh heck no, I'm staying here. I'm summoning my crew here and we'll start pirating from here. So that's the struggle. There's a lot more that goes on to this about the table and fictional characters and non-fictional characters and the magic of the school. There is, obviously there's a magical table, there's magical elements in this, but they're not magic users, they're not mages or anything. It is a normal school. The main characters. So we got the main villain here, which is Blackbeard, and then we have Javi and Wiki, who are them plus Javi's little sister Brady. So the way that they describe themselves is that Javi, he is the stomach. Wiki is obviously the brains, he's the smart one. And Brady, even though she's younger, she is the muscle. She's the tough one. And she's so tough that even Blackbeard calls her a future pirate queen because she's just rough and tumble like that. She's gonna fight anybody. And that's cute. She's cute. Feisty little thing. But they all come together with their strengths in the end. And he calls himself the stomach. That's what he calls himself because he likes to eat. And it's not about being having fortitude, but really his strength is he's a creative. He thinks very intellectually and inside the box in books. Like if it's not in a book, it doesn't exist type genius. And he is more creative. He's going to think outside the box to come up with solutions. And then Brady is going to think through the box. She's just going to punch through it with her muscles. But the three of them, along with some of the other adult characters who know what's going on, help handle the situation as it spirals out of control. But those are the characters, and they're really well thought out, in my opinion. They were fleshed out really good. Everything they did was in line with their character, very believable. They had layers, and I really liked all three of them. Brady was a hoot. I think my favorite part, about it, not like scene-wise, but just the overall humor, like even through problems, because I know that's kind of how I deal with things sometimes, is through humor, even if it's dark humor. But this is more like kid humor, and you do actually get to learn a little bit about history, because there's other historical people who come through. You get to learn about Hispanic food from Javi and the things that he makes, which is it's making me want to eat right now. And I really love that aspect of middle grade books when they teach you something, but it's really, really organic. Like it's just part of them, and that's how you're learning. And I think it's fun. And then at the very back, just cause Wiki, in true Wiki fashion, has made Wikipedia, which is so cute. But every character who is in it, he actually wrote up the real statistics, if they were real, and if they were part of a story. He wrote what book they came from and all that, which I thought was really good, because most of them I had figured out, but some eluded me till the absolute very end, which I think is another great mark of writing. Like it wasn't a frustrating, I don't know who you are. It was, it was a lot of hints here and there for a lot of the different characters. And that was also fun for me, because I was puzzling that out the whole way through. So, this is a middle grade that I gave 5 stars to. I really enjoyed it, and I was especially impressed that it was a debut novel, And he has, I believe, 2 other books out. One is the next one to this, and then the third one is a new series, but it's kind of similar. I don't know if he would consider this magical realism, but I still put this in the, you know, in the fantasy category because it's fantastical what's going on in there. So if you like middle grade humor, magic, a little bit of history and learning about historical and literature, and even a little bit of mythology, then you would like Time Villains, and I suggest you read it. Yes.